Hey everybody, it's Chad, Nobody Else's Auto. Gonna check out some more new inventory tonight. Kind of a couple of ends of the spectrum like we talk about on here quite a bit. What today's new generation of car collectors think of as an old car is not what a lot of us typically think of as being an old collector car. So always trying to think about that as I'm bringing inventory in as to what is the next generation gonna like, because this market is changing, it's changing fast, and we gotta be thinking about that. We've gotta welcome these new kids in. We've gotta welcome this new generation in to this hobby so that we've got a bright future. But we'll start off with what a car that a lot of people would consider a collector car, 1964 Ford Falcon Tudor hardtop. These cars you don't see very often, 64, 65 body style only, Falcon and Comet, not very common. I recently had two of these come in, this 64 as well as the 65. If you haven't caught the video on the 65, be sure to check that one out as well. This car here, body-wise, mostly here, except a lot of the trim is already gone. We can see the side moldings are already gone off of this car. But we do have taillights, rear bumper, sheet metal's pretty much all here. This side of the car, kind of the same thing. The sides of the car really pretty straight, not a ton of rust in this car. We'll work our way around back over here on the other side. We'll get up to the front. We can see the roof trim on this car, obviously very unique trim around the roof rail, around the windshield, all specific to the 64 Comet and Falcon Tudor hardtop. Hard to find stuff. We'll take a peek inside of the car while we're here. Seat springs are there. A lot of the dash pieces are still there. We can see a clutch pedal hanging out under the dash on this thing, so this was a stick car. We'll work our way up around the front. Front clips here, nose is gone, the grill's gone, the front bumper's gone. Hood's dinged in the front, and no motor or tranny left in this car at all. However, we can see a lot of this inner structure. We can see how solid this car is, how straight. It hasn't been wadded up or anything, so really a pretty clean little body the way it looks. Now, the next car we're going to check out is where we're going to shift a little further newer. Now, these cars really starting to get popular. I just bought one myself. If you caught the video on my 02 Trans Ams WS-6 Ram Air Convertible I just bought, love these cars, and that is part of where this shift is going. These other cars that a lot of people don't think are old cars from even at this point into the early 2000s are starting to get hard to find. That's why I'm trying to add some of that stuff to the yard as well. Just like this 2000 Trans Am. This car's fairly rough. It was a salvage pool car. It had an underhood fire. But there again, it is a V8 Trans Am. These cars are tough to find. The parts are going to be even tougher to find. So had a chance to pick this one up for our friend Scott. So I went ahead and picked it up from him, put it in the yard. It's got Camaro wheels on it. A lot of the interior is already gone out of the car. The seats are gone. The dash stuff still has some pieces there. T-tops are still here. The rear wing's still here. But we come around the front, and this is why it ended up in the salvage pool. Had an underhood fire and pretty much torched everything on the front end of this car. But as we come along the other side, the other door, the rest of this car, other than the front clip, the rest of this body is really not in too bad a shape. On around the back, the rear bumper, the taillights, still a lot of pieces there. Now, like I said, a lot of you probably wouldn't consider a 2000 Trans Am as a collector car, but that's where they're going. The 01s and 02s are extremely difficult to find. It took me several months to find a good one when I bought my 02 WS-6 Ram Air Convertible, because finding good ones are getting tough. So there again, trying to think ahead. What's the future bring? What's the next generation gonna like? Well, you got to remember that kid that just graduated high school last May was born in 2003. So those cars from the 80s and 90s are old cars. So we need to be cognizant of that. We need to welcome them into the hobby. We need to welcome them into the fold. When they show up at your cruise night, your car show, make sure they feel welcome. Make sure that they know that you want them there, because that is the next generation. That is the future for our hobby. So when I bring some of this stuff in, that's what I'm thinking about. That's what I'm trying to pay attention to. And we all need to do that to make sure this hobby continues well into the future for the next several generations. So anyway, that's what we've got for tonight. If you're on Facebook, please share the video with your friends. Invite them to give the page a like. If you've got specific questions about these cars or any of the other 1,500 cars and trucks we've got around here, give me a call. 620-786-4428. That number's on the page. Having that short conversation about your project, year, make, model, body style, parts you need. I need all that information because I can't guess. So giving me that information so I've got it on my notepad and know what you're trying to accomplish with your build, or exactly what you're looking for your build, is critical. So if you're on YouTube, please check out my other videos. You like old cars, you like old trucks, you like memorabilia, you like gas and oil, that's what we do on here, because that's what we love. So be sure to check out my other videos. And one thing I've noticed, a lot of you guys watch these videos haven't subscribed yet, so please subscribe and make sure you click notifications. We do some lives on here. If you don't click that notification button, you won't necessarily get those live notifications. So anyway, please click that, subscribe, check out the other videos. Thanks for being here. Appreciate you spending a few minutes out of your evening with me to hang out and check out some of this cool new inventory. Stay tuned. I've been buying a ton of cars. Lots more new inventory videos coming. We got a lot of cool stuff to look at, so stay tuned. Thanks for watching.